Motherfucking mini episode. Mini episode. Motherfucking mini episode.
People who were in slavery wish that they had curbside service at Applebee's.
Welcome to another episode of My Mama Told Me,
the podcast where we dive deep into the pockets of black conspiracy theories.
And we work hard to prove the conspiracies of you, the listener.
Yeah, that shit you got at home, that bullshit you talking about, we listen.
That stupid shit you feel like sending us from the bathroom at work, we're going to solve all that shit.
You know you supposed to be back at work. What the fuck are you still doing in that bathroom emailing us?
They know you don't have a hemorrhoid. You've been using that excuse for weeks.
They've talked about it. They might say your name on the intercom. Why do you work somewhere with an intercom? That's on you.
Hey, don't worry about it. You're just trying to get your money until you can get some rims on the Acura. I'm David Borey.
I'm Langston Kerman. And I hope you get those rims. That's
I do
my
too.
wish for you.
I do too, man. I think you could do it.
And I also think it's just going to make the Acura look better. So I want that for you.
You know, you got a TL. You're not playing around.
Yeah, come on, dog. Get them rims. We have a conspiracy today. We got an email today from a person named Aaron. Aaron sent us a message that I'm super.
Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron. AARON. If that changes anything for you, I don't know.
It does.
Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah, I had a feeling you wouldn't care for that too much, but
no, I like it.
That's your preferred version of it.
It's biblical.
Got you. Well, Bible reference Aaron. He sent us an email with the subject line "lead in the walls." That's exciting. You love a good lead conspiracy.
I do. I love lead. I love asbestos.
Just those two.
Yeah.
All the other airborne or wall-borne toxins are bullshit. But those two
will probably be all right. But those two are big.
Yeah, those are the big ones. The big two is what we call them here at the podcast. Aaron sent us a message, lead in the walls. He said, "Hey, Langston and David, love the podcast, and I'm also a big fan of David Borey's comedy." He loves your comedy.
Oh,
he says he's been killing it as co-host. Now, the theory comes to me not from my mother, but a former heroin addict who's doing much better now. The theory, which I was worried about them, so I'm glad that he...
Thank you for including that.
We've been sitting we've been over here stressing about whether or not this heroin addict is doing okay or not, but I'm glad that they're doing better.
Yeah, good for them.
But the theory is that the lead they used to use in paint is responsible for higher number of serial killers in the 70s and 80s. Excited to hear what you guys discover, Aaron. Should I start? Should I kick into gear?
You go first.
I don't hate it. I like a little bit of what's been being put down here. I'd be lying if I didn't. There's a part of me that goes, there was a lot of serial killers. There were a lot of serial killers, and I don't know that we have nearly as many today, or certainly I don't think we hear about them in the same way.
I think that the efficiency of firearms and mass shootings today make it so that you could do it all in one. I think that serial killers used to be spread out over years. I think you go into a bank and you shoot. You know what I mean?
But if I'm a serial killer, I've got a taste for that shit. It's not like I just accidentally kill a bunch of people. I need to kill.
But is that more fucked up than what happens now? I guess that's my question. Is like, we're talking about it because the assumption is that people were somehow more deviant when they were doing that than they were when not exposed to lead, right?
Well, I think yes, that the lead, and Olivia sent us something, the lead crime hypothesis is a research area that involves the study of the correlation between elevated blood lead levels in children and increased rate of crime, delinquency, and recidivism later in life.
I don't know, man. Isn't crime going crazy right now?
I think crime is going crazy, but I don't think that I think the implication, at least with the serial killers, is that this is bigger than just like, oh, incidents are transpiring, but more like an intentional want to kill that is influenced by the lead in your home or car or whatever the fuck was poisoning you in the 70s and 80s. Pencils. I think y'all were eating pencils with lead in them and shit.
I don't know, man. I think that I don't know that I think that the lead thing. I think there's a lot of factors to why people don't kill in the same way anymore. Maybe attention spans have also gotten. It takes a lot of attention to become a serial killer. People can't even read books anymore. You know what I mean?
So you're saying that the TikTok generation just ain't built for this murder shit.
I just don't know if I think people were more deviant then, like as far as murder goes. I feel like a lot of people are getting killed still.
I don't think that it's. I think you're looking at this in a grand sense, and I think I'm hearing what Aaron's arguing in a much more a micro sense, if that makes sense.
I'm macro. I understand.
You're
what
macro.
saying.
So
Okay.
you're saying that lead would have affected all of us and made us all more deviant. I think what he's pointing to is that some people were highly affected by the lead to the point that it increased their blood levels or heart rates and led to crime and delinquency and all these other things. But it wasn't every single person. It was just the people that it hit. It hit like a motherfucker.
Maybe. I feel like there's always some kind of shit. We're always building with some shit we're not supposed to be building, or exposing kids to some shit that's making them crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The kids are they're heavily medicated now. We're not going to see some weird fallout from that. That's probably going to be bad. Like, I don't know, man. I think, but I also don't know the numbers. So there were more serial killers in the 70s and 80s than now?
I don't know for sure, but I definitely feel that way. So I'm going to go, because we owe nothing to these listeners, and I'm careless with all of my choices. I'll say that, yes, there were way more 70s, 80s serial killers than there are now. You know what I mean? Like,
okay,
there were motherfuckers out here killing. We knew about them. We knew names. They had now TV shows about them.
There was manhunts.
Really,
we don't know.
We don't know cool serial killers anymore. The
not
streets
since
are
the
quiet.
DC sniper, right?
Yeah, and really, he wasn't even. He killed a lot of people, but they killed a lot of people. Them niggas killed a lot of people. And I think the DC sniper, you got Chris Dorner.
Yeah.
You there are a few that we can point to, but it just isn't the same vibes that it used to be. You know what I mean?
Because I've also always wondered about international serial killers. Like, are there like a bunch in Scandinavia they just don't tell us about? Like,
oh.
You know what I mean? It just feels like, it feels very specific.
Yeah. Olivia is telling us that she has a graph that she found from Vox. It's saying U.S. average preschool blood lead, violent crimes are this red line, and then the violent crime rate from 1998. Oh, so it's 1960 to 1998, and then 1998 to 2013. And it does seem as if there is, well, let's find this. Okay. Yeah, it looks as if the line is lower, right? That if I'm understanding correctly.
Yeah. Why are your face so close to the screen?
Because I can't see shit. It's making me nervous because I got LASIK through this podcast, and and I'm worried it's not working. I had to get so close.
This is a graph, and it does show something, and I would never take that away.
Well, that's saying that they started banning lead stuff in the 70s. Okay.
Right.
That's all right. And then subsequently, these rates of sort of like the blood lead levels has decreased.
And hence
the violent crimes also did the same.
Doesn't seem to be decreasing at the same space pace, right?
No.
It was increasing. If it was increasing at the same pace, would it not decrease at the same pace?
Well, I think
I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Yeah, but I think they're banning it. They're not necessarily removing all of it at the pace that they should.
Oh, right.
Just because the government says like, hey, we won't make any more of this doesn't mean there aren't a bunch of families that'll continue to be affected. There are probably homes to this day that still have lead in them somewhere.
Well, I mean, this one could be true then. You showed me a graph. That's more than usually happens. Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like so much of violent crime is regional too. I don't know, man.
Yeah, all those cool Seattle killings are very different than those Rocky Mountain Colorado killings.
Keep going.
I don't know. I just
I'm just saying, like, I mean, what if I don't know, it was everywhere, it's to be assumed, right? Lead.
Yeah, I don't think anybody got out of that one. I think
right.
I think obviously wealth got you out of it faster. That like at the point that we realized lead was in fact bad to the scale that they realized it, I think a bunch of people immediately fixed the problem and it left a bunch of people without solutions.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Feels like what does the case against say?
The case against?
It said up top, there was a line that said the case against.
Oh. This motherfucker want to sleuth out the alternative. Fair enough.
Gotta know. The lead theory is the same problems as the abortion theory. In the 1990s, even people who had been exposed to lead as children started committing fewer crimes, albeit not to the same extent as younger cohorts. That indicates that while reduced lead exposure may have been a factor, even a big one, it may not explain the entire crime drop.
Okay, so it is acknowledging it is a factor. It's not necessarily saying that the factor is isolated, that there are other factors at play here.
I also don't know that more violent crimes means more serial killings as a type of violent crime. Like, I don't know what that correlation is either. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know if just because more people are having road rage and fighting each other and whatever, does that mean that there's more people who are willing to like
slice a girl up and
like I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes me very skeptical still.
Fair enough. You're a man, I'm learning, who needs all the proof. And
I need all the proof.
And frankly, I don't have it. I'm a man. And this is where you and I differentiate. I'm a man who is like, that sounds funny. Let's go with it. And you're like, no, give me the fucking proof. I'm like, yeah, that's silly. That serial killers were eating lead and turning into hulkish monsters. You know what I mean?
Do we also have the lead levels from serial killers? Like, if you could cut up Son of Sam and be like, no, he was leaded up, then I would. This guy was unleaded.
I hope John Wayne Gacy was literally shitting lead pencils. I hope that it was just sharp lead pencils coming out of his anus, and that's why he had to kill all those people.
I would like that. Listen, I want to live in that world too. I'm just saying what I think. Also, it got dark on me during this recording. It looks like I've been kidnapped.
Yeah, it definitely got it got erotic. Is that okay to say? It started to feel like a webcam video somewhere in the middle of it.
Yeah, it does. It does feel like I'm going to take it out soon.
Yeah, like this video is going to switch to a red light soon, and then it's all over.
I just put a scarf over this thing.
But we can see through it. We can see what's going on.
That's all that matters.
Well, Bori, could you tell the people where they could find you and what cool shit you have going on?
Yeah, December 25th, come out and see me headline the Denver Comedy Works. December 3rd, see me headline the Hereafter in Seattle. And December 4th, see me headline Helium Comedy Club in Portland. Other than that, Instagram, Cool Guy Jokes 87. And, eat those chips, baby.
Eat those lead chips, my guy.
Come
on, you could be out here killing people, or according to Bori, we don't know.
Or we don't know.
Or we don't know what's going to happen. One of two things is going to happen. You're going to get angrier. Now, how far does that anger take you? We don't know yet. But you could be the person that figures that out. You could eat those chips and tell us firsthand what happens. Aaron, This is your conspiracy and your heroin addict. You should eat those lead chips and tell us what happens.
Please do. Dip them in salsa.
That doesn't neutralize the effects of the lead, according to any research we've seen.
Agree to disagree.
You think a good Totino's salsa is gonna? I
think a good salsa, not Totino's. That's trash.
Fair enough. That's shit, man. Salsa.
Yeah, that's bad salsa. Any of the salsa that they sell it to you warm is bad salsa. I
think salsa that they put in front of the chips they want you to buy is bad salsa. You know what I mean? Like, they only sell that salsa in the chip aisle, and they're like, yeah, this goes with that. It's like, oh, that's because it's disgusting.
No, you got to get the good salsa at a second location.
Yeah, always. I can see that. I don't.
Like, I gotta walk over to the fridge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to do a couple laps through aisles to get to the finishing touch for this bad boy.
That stuff right up there is no good.
That's no good. That said, you can find me at Langston Kerman on all platforms. And as always, you can send us your drops, your conspiracy theories. You can tell us what else is making serial killers into serial killers by sending to mymommapod@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. And that's about it. Bye, bitch.
Are you telling me that you are not?
Yeah, I'm not a woman.
White? Oh, the deception!
Motherfucking mini-episode. Mini-episode. Motherfucking mini-episode. Motherfucking mini-episode. Mini-episode. Motherfucking mini-episode.